Queen Sarraounia, the warrior who defied the French Empire. In the late 19th century, as European powers carved up Africa in their ruthless quest for control, one woman stood in their way. She wasn't just a queen, she was a warrior, a strategist, and a symbol of resistance. Her name was Sarraounia, and when the mighty French army marched toward her kingdom, she did the unthinkable. She fought back, and she won. This is the untold story of the queen who defied an empire. During the late 1800s, European colonial forces were rapidly conquering territories across Africa under the scramble for Africa. Many African rulers, faced with overwhelming firepower, chose to surrender. But Sarraounia, ruler of the Azna people in present-day Niger, refused. She was not just a queen, she was a warrior priestess, trained in both strategy and the mystical arts, said to wield spiritual powers that made her invincible in battle. At the time, the French military was advancing across West Africa, expecting quick and easy victories. They encountered little resistance from other rulers who either surrendered or were swiftly defeated. But when they reached Sarraounia's land, they found something they were not prepared for: a leader who knew how to fight on her own terms. Rather than meeting the French in open battle, where their rifles and cannons would dominate, she used guerrilla warfare, an advanced strategy for its time. She and her warriors lured the French into dense forests, setting traps, using ambushes, and striking at night before disappearing into the shadows. The French, used to conventional warfare, struggled against an enemy they could not see. The more they advanced, the more frustrated and exhausted they became. Their supply lines were disrupted, their forces were weakened, and morale dropped. Sarraounia had turned the landscape into her greatest weapon. Eventually, the French, unable to secure a decisive victory, were forced to retreat, something that rarely happened during their African conquests. Sarraounia victory was extraordinary. At a time when many African rulers were being overpowered by colonial forces, she proved that strategic warfare, determination, and resistance could challenge even the most powerful empires. Yet, despite her remarkable success, her story remains largely unknown outside of Niger and West Africa. Some say Sarraounia's strength came not only from her military intelligence, but also from mystical powers. As a priestess, she was believed to have spiritual protection, making her immune to bullets and capable of controlling the elements. While this remains legend, what is undeniable is that her leadership and strategy changed the course of history in her region. Though Sarraounia's resistance was not part of a larger anti-colonial movement, she became an icon of African defiance against imperialism. Today, her name is honored in Niger, and she has been immortalized in literature and film. Her story serves as a reminder that colonization was not met with passive acceptance. There were those who fought back, and some, like Sarraounia, triumphed. Queen Sarraounia was more than just a warrior. She was a leader who stood against oppression and refused to bow to foreign rule. Her victory against the French is one of the greatest untold stories of African history. So why is her name not as well known as Joan of Arc or other historical warriors? Is it time for the world to recognize Africa's unsung heroes? Let me know what you think.